Hello, my students, my wonderful subscribers, and all disciples along the path of Tao. This is your Master GongSun, and in today's episode, we will continue our summary of the Tao Te Ching. I know that in today's hectic, bustling, busy lifestyle, we don't actually have that much time to truly, thoroughly investigate or review one thing. So I'm going to do us all a favor and summarize it so that it will be condensed into like a small digestible chunk, and that you can easily understand it. So we're going to continue with the Tao Te Ching, chapter 11. And as I mentioned before, I will not be talking about not every single little sentence in every chapter, but I will be cherry picking the ones that I'm interested in. So here's a particular phrase that I find very interesting. In chapter 11, Lao Tzu, the guy who wrote the Tao Te Ching, the Taoist Bible, said, "When shaping clay into a vessel, it is the empty space within that makes it useful. When cutting doors, it is the empty space between that makes them useful." So let's break it down. What does this really mean? I mean, the ancient Chinese love talking in metaphors. And if you think about it, it makes perfect sense, right? Because you need the empty space inside the vessel to use it, right? To put like a flower inside, and you need the empty space in between the frames of a door so that you can walk through it. So in Taoism, we translate empty as WuJi, and this is a very important term that you'll hear over and over again, and it actually means primordial or limitless. It is the origin of all. You might remember in the first chapter of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu tells us that being and non-being have the same source. So, in other words, things that exist and things that don't exist come from the same source, which is the primordial, the WuJi. And that is related to the TaiJi, meaning the world of great manifestation, because it's actually the opposite but the same, right? So like look at this, for example, right? Isn't this is a very famous TaiJi tree, and you might know it as the yin and yang symbol, right? I mean, they're the opposites, but they are a part of the same thing. All of the universe, right? It's part of the TaiJi. So it's a balance point between the great yang and the great yin. Think of it that way. And I'm going to explain what yin and yang is, because some people still don't quite understand it. I'll explain it pretty soon in the next episode. Anyway, my point is that if we can empty yourself of these thoughts running through your mind, you can better connect with the great emptiness and finally have a realization, a revelation, right? So meditation is important too, and I talked about this in a previous video. We need to find balance, don't forget. Balance is important. Anyway, this is your Master GongSun. Thank you for tuning in. As usual, keep following the Tao.